Good morning and welcome to lesson 6 of Con 231. Let me just remind you of what is due this week. So I'd like you to read chapter 6, and chapter 6 is all about organizing and outlining your ideas. Be sure to view the videos as well if they're helpful for you, and then take quiz 7 that deals with chapter 6. Then read chapter 7, and chapter 7 deals with introducing and concluding your speech. Same thing there, view the videos if they're helpful, and be sure to complete quiz 8. One of the big things that is due this week is a self-evaluation. In this particular self-evaluation, I'm asking you to view your presentation 3 times. So we've had a chance to record it, and you have a copy of it. So the first time, just listen to the audio. That's all, just listen to the audio. The second time, just view the video without the audio. Turn off the audio. And then finally, view the video and the audio and listen to the audio together. And based on viewing your presentation 3 times and my feedback, I want you to use the self-evaluation template to craft and to write up a self-evaluation. So let me go through a little bit of what that consists of in terms of detail. The self-evaluation template is necessary for you to use. It's required really for you to use for this evaluation. I've gone through and given you sufficient instructions on how to go about the process. Reflection and rehearsal are key to you improving your public speaking skills. So as you look at the template itself, there are a few things that you ought to keep in mind. And let me pull mine up here very quickly in terms of what the template is. Let's see if I can pull it up. So the template is about 4 pages long. The first part deals with the introduction. And so there are 5 items that I want you to look at, and those are the common 5 things that we need in an introduction: the attention getter, the reason to listen, the thesis statement, the credibility statement, and finally the preview of the main points. As you respond to the prompts, make sure that you provide sufficient detail as well as some concrete statements in terms of what you did well. So be sure to evaluate the effectiveness. Same thing with the body. The body is worth 30 points in terms of the grade for this assignment. The introduction is worth 10 points. In the body itself, I'm looking for you to evaluate how precise and parallel your main points are. Were they sufficiently developed to substantiate the thesis statement, and how they logically relate to each other? Then secondly, was there sufficient combination of ethos, pathos, and logos in the supporting material? For the Who Am I Really speech, there weren't any outside sources. But for the next 2 speeches, the informative and the persuasive speeches, you certainly need to evaluate whether you cited your sources clearly to increase your credibility. And were these sources credible to the audience? Be sure to evaluate how creative or unique perspective that you brought to this presentation. And then also evaluate your language usage. Did you write for the eye, as in writing an essay for somebody to read, or did you write for the ear in terms of a speech that you're going to deliver in a conversational manner to an audience? You need to evaluate how your presentation was relevant to your target audience. How did you connect with their beliefs, attitudes, and values? And then be sure to evaluate how effective your transitions were. Did you use a signal? I have spoken about, now I will. Did you use a signal to let the audience know that you are making progress in your presentation? Did you review the previous main point or points, and did you preview the next main point? And then finally, in the conclusion, was there a break-like function? Did you restate your thesis and main points? And did your audience response connect with the specific purpose, and was it well developed? And then finally, was there a vivid, memorable ending? The 4th item, so the body is worth 30 points, and then the conclusion is worth 10 points. The delivery is worth 20 points. And this is where you evaluate how strong your eye contact was and was it well distributed. You also evaluate, was there significant variation in volume, pitch, and rate? And was your speech delivered extemporaneously? So what is an extemporaneous delivery? It is a carefully planned and rehearsed speech in which the speech is delivered through sentences that are crafted in real time, that are not read from the outline or from the script. The purpose of the outline is to maintain the flow of your presentation and to remind you, the speaker, of what's coming next in terms of the content. Did you evaluate the presence of strategic pauses to facilitate assimilation? Or was your presentation punctuated with vocalized pauses? And, so, but. And then for the first presentation, you really didn't need a visual aid. But for the second and third presentation, I'm asking you to use PowerPoint or some type of slide. And here, evaluate whether the visual aid supplemented and did not eclipse the speaker. And then finally, were your facial and body gestures meaningful, and did your posture exude confidence? The last item is the overall assessment. Second to last item is the overall assessment, and this is worth 10 points. I'm asking you, what 3 things were you most pleased with in the speech? The second thing, what 3 things were you least pleased with in the speech? And third, if you had an opportunity to deliver the speech again next week, what changes would you make? And be specific. And then finally, I'm asking you to craft an improvement plan for the next presentation. This is worth 20 points. Reflection and rehearsal is great, but you also need a plan in terms of how you're going to improve. If you have any questions, please be sure to give me a shout. Thank you again for your hard work in the Who Am I Really presentation. And I believe that you'll do the same in terms of this evaluation. Again, a reminder, you must use the self-evaluation template for this assignment. Thanks.